Hello everyone, Professor Lohit here. Today we are going to see the lecture number 29 on a payment design. So before getting into the detail with the payment, so first let us see the why require the payment and why the payments are constructed. So when the surface of the road should be what stable and it should be non-yielding. Why? To allow the vehicle like heavy vehicles wheel load of the road traffic to move with least possible rolling resistance. Okay, the road surface should also be even along the longitudinal profile to enable the fast vehicles to move safely and comfortable whatever the design speed of the road. And what happened to this pavement, whatever the we call subgrade? If the at the high moisture content, what happened? The soil become weaker and soft, and that starts yielding under what? Heavy wheel loads, thus increase in resistance to traction. So if you having the pavement, if pavement is very much smooth and hard, then what happen? You not find any resistance to the rolling. If it is uneven means it giving some what resistance to the traction, the wheel. So only you can see, if you see the rough roads, what happen? You feel your vehicle speed is always less and always feel the bump under that. But when the wheel is totally, when the road is very totally smooth, then you not find any bump or traction resistance to the vehicle. That's the difference. So what, why we find this kind of a pavement? If I not have any layers there, what happen? This due to the high high moisture content, it yields. So if there is a heavy load, it find the undulations on the surface. So the earth road may not able to fulfill any above the requirements, especially during the varying condition of the traffic and weather changes. Therefore, a pavement consisting of superior and strong material is laid over the prepared earth surface and could fulfill the all the requirement. So let us see the, so you got it, why required the strong pavement or surface. Now, so to provide that strong surface at the in a different manner depend upon the conditions, we have different types of pavement that we construct. One is a flexible pavement, rigid pavement, semi rigid pavement, and interlocking cement concrete block pavement. These are very much important. We have established so much designs, everything in the both the, these are pretty much rare in conditions, but you have to know these are very much important aspects in a pavement or pavement construction design, everything clear. Let us see the what is flexible pavement. So flexible pavements are those which on the whole have a low or negligible flexural strength. Flexural strength is nothing but, you might have done on a timber and all in a BMT lab. You apply 3-point load here, then what happen? At this conditions, it's going to be, it's going to bend, right? Okay, this bending moment, there will be both sides the bending. The resistance to the bending we call it as a flexural strength. So the flexible pavements are, it has any no or negligible flexural strength and are rather flexible in structural action under the loads. So therefore, the flexible pavement layers may reflect the non-recoverable as well as recoverable deformation of the lower layers, including the subgrade on the upper layer. In the sense, you have the different layers of the flexible pavement right now. When the wheel comes at this particular point, all the layers what they start bending under the wheel deformations. Okay, when the moment this wheel move forward, again they come back to the original position. So this is what recoverable deformations. Clear? If this not come up, okay, when this happens, if the lower layer of the payment or subgrade gets deformed or undulated due to the permanent deformation, what you call the flexible payment, and the payment may get undulated, or this is what you call undulated. And only at this point what happened, it undulated. So here one layer it's get undulated, it will reflect to all the other top layer, that is a flexible payment. So the vertical compressive strength is vertical compression. How are you going to get it? By the wheel only. Is maximum on a permanent pavement surface directly under where wheel load only, and is equal to the what contact pressure under the wheel. So due to this ability of the flexible pavement layer to distribute the compressed strength in a larger area, in a larger shapes, in a form of truncated cone, what you call. Clear? This is all about the flexible pavement. So when you go for the next rigid pavement, this is in reverse one. So rigid pavements are those which possess noteworthy flexural strength or fragile rigidity. It has very high bending resistance to that. Okay, so the flexural strength is very much rigid here, high. So rigids are generally made up of what? CC pavement, that is Portland cement concrete. So these are called as CC, cement concrete pavement. In thus the plain cement concrete pavement slabs are made of specified strength. Characters are laid with or without steel reinforcement here at the joints. So most commonly material used in the design of construction of rigid pavement are high quality plain cement concrete for the pavement. Generally we called as PQC, pavement quality concrete. And in generally the pavement slabs made in a PQC are expected to sustain up to 45 kg per centimeter square of flexural strength. In flexible pavement, what happen? Whatever the load is there, it has to transfer from one layer to other layer, next layer, next layer. Like grain to grain transfer of the loading will happen. But in rigid pavement, there is stresses are not transferred from like grain to grain. Okay, it not passes any to the lower layer. So only the whatever we call, it's all taken by only the whatever top layer concrete slab is be there, it automatically takes all the load or stresses automatically. Then it directly transfers to the earth. Here what happens, the layer by layer by layer by the loading transfer. Any one fails, everything is fails here. Clear? Okay, the next is semi rigid pavement. So at the times like bonded materials like pozzolana, nick concrete, lime flash, aggregate means lean cement concrete or soil cement are used in subbase. I will come later that what is subbase and all, because we are going to see the detail the what layers of the pavement. So here in these conditions what happen, some of the chemicals that are used to market for the soil stabilizations for semi-rigid pavement, these bonded materials have significant some flexural strength in comparison with the common materials what you use in a subbase or a base course of the flexible pavement. So here the pavement consists of both flexible layer and one or more semi-rigid pavement layer we called as a composite layer. So these semi-rigid pavement materials generally have low resistance to impact and abrasion, therefore they are not used in a surface course. Clear? And these whatever the construction of this kind of layer is very minimal. So when you construct the semi-rigid pavement, for example, you having the CC pavement now. CC pavement have something life of something 30 years, 40 years. After when the CC pavement goes off, that whatever the CC pavement is, then we use it as a base course, because it's very much hard, na. Even though it's went off, it's not giving the proper what rolling on a vehicles for the rolling on a pavement, but that can be used as a base course. So on that we are going to use some flexible material like bitumen and all on a surfacing the on a cement concrete pavement, that we called as a semi rigid or composite pavements. There two different layers you are using it as a common. Clear? That we call a semi rigid pavement. The next is interlocking cement concrete block pavement. So we generally call it as ICBP. This consists of a cement concrete paving blocks, that what we see in front of our college. The pavers, what we call, those are nothing but the interlocking cement of they are paver blocks of specified size, strength, and shape, proper laid over the well compacted soil subgrade or even some base, and layer of bedding bedding sand is as specified. So the gap between the paver blocks are filled with the joint filling sand and vibrated so that they provide adequate interlocking between the blocks. So to confirm that adequate lateral confinement or support has to be ensured, providing a suitable edge at the strip or beam or sometimes curbs or at the end of the paved area. Clear? That is all about the ICBP. So let us see the layers. What are the different levels available in flexible pavement and the rigid pavement? So these are the different cross sections for the. So these are the two different cross sections. One is this is for a flexible pavement and this is for rigid pavement. First I will explain the what are the different layers you come across. The whatever the subgrade is the first layer. So before any construction of the work of the pavement starts, the first layer, what you see, the soil, what you see, or the surface of the earth, what you see, that we call as a subgrade. Okay, the next layer, what are you going to put on that, we call it as a subbase. Okay, after that the next layer is going to be base course, and after above that is going to be surface course. Okay, in surface course we use the whatever the bitumen, even the two layers is used, depend upon the pavement quality. Okay, and here comes a base course like aggregate WBM, WMM, we use it in a base course. Subbase is nothing but granular subbase. Okay, and in case of this is in a case of the rigid pavement, first is going to be subgrade, again it's going to be same layer subbase only, GSP, or here we use the DLC, that is dry lean concrete as a base, and last we use the pavement quality concrete slab. Here the subgrade is going to remain same because it's earth surface. Here subbase is going to be, sometimes we can exclude in a where in a CC pavement, either any of one is required, even it's fine. Okay, it's all depend upon the soil strength and the cost of the project, how they required, what the payment, what are the loads coming on the payment, depend upon that this layer can be even excluded here. Only three layer can be layer. One is subgrade will be there, DLC, and lastly PQC. Here all the layer has to be there, no any compromises of the layer here. So each layer has some what functions here, we see one by one. The first is subgrade. What's the function of subgrade? In the examination they ask regarding that only. Okay, what is flexible pavement? I show the component with a diagram and explain each component with their functions. So first layer is going to be subgrade here. So the soil subgrade or subgrade we call is a layer of what natural or selected soil from the identified borrow pits fulfilling the specified requirements and well compacted in layer to desired density required for thickness. The subgrade is the lowest layer of the pavement, okay, pavement layer system, which ultimately supports all the other pavement components and the traffic loads. Okay, and it is essential that at no time the soil subgrade is overstressed. This means that the pressure or the vertical transmitted load on the top of the subgrade is such that the vertical strain produced is well within the desired limit. So the minimum thickness of the compacted subgrade is 500 mm by the for the national highway and the state highway, that you have to keep it in mind. Okay, the next layer is subbase layer, or we call it as a GSP layer, when we can call it as a GSB layer. So GSP course has a what serve as an effective drainage layer here of the pavement and also sustain a lower magnitude of compressive stress than the base course. but main work of this is as a drainage layer. So drainage layer is laid above the subgrade, cover the full width of the formation between the longitudinal drains. The part of the rainwater which may enter into the pavement layers through the shoulders or the pavement surface will get drained out quickly into the longitudinal direction of the roadside drains. Thus, it is possible to retain the subgrade and the other pavement layer in relatively dry condition. That's the function of the having the GSP layer. So, hope you understand how these layers are look like. Longitudinal drain is nothing but if having the pavement, if this is the pavement, I have already shown you the cross section. This is the pavement is where the vehicles goes on, and beside that side we have the drainage. So no, if you see the national highway, you have the median here, either one side, both sides side the 2 lane is there. Okay, then you have the shoulder, then you have the drainage. This runs along the length of the road, that is longitudinal direction, okay, both side. So this whatever the this layer will be somewhere here. So whatever it takes, it directly throws into the drainage, and that will take you to the any cross drainage or CD work is available. So I am speaking about the layers are there. These are here. The top layer is surface course, next layer is base course, uske niche sub base, and last layer what we go to that will be called as subgrade. Clear? Now let us see the what is base course. The base course is the most important component of the flexible pavement layer, which sustains the weed load stress and disperses through the larger area onto the GSP layer below. A good base course, how it's supposed to be, enhances the load carrying capacity of the flexible pavement structures. So good quality course aggregates are generally used in granular base course of a flexible pavement. So you might have seen that this layer is always almost like 250 mm or twice 500 mm and all. If generally when the GSP layer is laid, the whatever the strong aggregates we see na before coming the what bitumen layer, that aggregates which are going to use as a large as aggregate, which is around up to 40 mm in a size. Those we called as a base course. That's layer we called as a base course. And this aggregate has to be very much strong enough so that it can sustain the maximum load and distribute easily to the below the layers what you find in a flexible pavement. So next layer is surface course. So what's the function of surface course is? It prevents the entry of the surface water into the pavement layer during the rain, and thus protects us to the base course and other pavement layer below which having. And with a good surface and effective drainage layer, it is possible what to keep the soil subgrade in relative dry condition and retain stability. So the bituminous surface, what is there, it serves as varying course for the traffic and provide dust free pavement surface under any dry weather conditions. Okay, these are the functions of the each layer. Clear? And let us see the for CC pavement now. So in CC pavement, what or cement concrete pavement, what you have, the function of the subgrade and GSP remains same. So here we can use a DLC or you can use a base course as WBM and WBC also. So in the granular base course generally provided under a CC slab is low volume in case of the low volume roads, and also in a roads with a moderate traffic roads. However, when you see on the road carrying the heavy to the very heavy traffic roads, high quality base course material such as dry lean concrete is used as preferred in a base course of the CC pavement, as they are designed for 30 years or more. With good maintenance, the CC pavement are expected to provide a service life of 40 years or even more. So DCL, that is what we call DLC layer, provides a uniform support of high modulus of subgrade modulus of elasticity value and excellent work platform for laying the what pavement quality concrete slab with a sensor pavement. So in that conditions we require DLC. And even a separation layer consisting suitable type of membrane laid over the DLC base course for before laying the PQC in order to prevent the bonding between the two layers. And lastly, the top layer, what you find, the PQC slab or pavement quality concrete. Here the M40 cement concrete mix, which we expect that it gives the minimum flexure strength of around 45 kg per centimeter square, which is even recommended by the IRC. Clear? And used in a CC pavements are highways with a very heavy traffic loads. The CC pavement slab is expected to withstand the flexural stresses caused by heavy traffic loads and due to the wrapping effects of the CC due to the temperature differences. Therefore, what do we expect that high quality CC mix with high flexure strength is used to construct the PQC slab of a CC pavement. Clear? So, this layer is having the very much high flexural strength and grade is always more than M40. By the slab action only, it transfers the load from the top layer to the bottom layer. These are the functions of each layer now. Understood? Hope you understood. So, meet in the next class. Thank you for your patience.